I'm really excited to kind of introduce Beauty Mark to everybody. I'm actively working on my blog and creating that, and I kind of needed to find out exactly how I could be of some service to the world. I had the opportunity to undergo a huge and daunting task by losing all this weight. However, I did it in such a confined bubble that I also had to figure out how to come back to the regular world and my everyday life and the life that I know, and get it right, I guess here. And I think that the part of this that was probably most scary is the fear of putting on all of my weight, or even really just gaining weight, period. You know, you tell yourself that you're not going to be that person once you lose the weight, that you're never going to go back. And I think I said that a few times. I'm never going back. And I do intend to never go back. However, you know, when you go from working out as intensely as you did, you know, every day, to now you're back at home, you're working, you have a whole life that you have to live. How do you incorporate a healthy lifestyle alongside your professional and your personal lifestyle? And so that's kind of what Beauty Mark is about, and it's all different forms of beauty. And today I kind of want to talk about the beauty of fear. And it kind of leads in to my weight loss journey. A lot of times, I don't think that we look at these negative things and try and find the positive in all of the negative things in this world. And one thing that I do know and did learn from this past year is that perception is key. If we focus on the negative and things that we didn't get or we don't get to experience, then I mean, how are you ever going to continue to move forward and progress in the direction that it is inevitably the direction you want to go in? So at the end of the day, I kind of just had to put my fears to the side and the thoughts and ideas that, oh my gosh, what if I don't accomplish this task? What if I let somebody down? The what ifs, the doubts, the fears, all of that. I kind of had to put that to the side and continue to move forward. So a lot of people ask me all the time, like, how did you, every time you were faced with an obstacle, how did you continue to push forward, progress, and do this thing? The fear, and the words fear and doubt, they hinder us from being the best versions of ourselves possible. It kind of allows us to be complacent and comfortable in the arena that we're in. If we own that place, if we say, okay, for me, for instance, at least I'm not 300 pounds. That's something that I could continue to tell myself. Even though I have gained about 30 pounds, I could continue to tell myself, well, at least it's not 300 pounds. I'm nowhere near that, you know, thank God. But then nothing's ever going to change. And I know at the end of the day, I had a personal goal that I wanted to get to. And that's exactly where I want to stay. So in order to get back to that place, I can't have the mentality of, okay, well, at least it's not 300 pounds. I have to say, okay, yeah, let me be honest with myself. I did put on a few pounds, but now I have to do something to reel it back in. So I think that the beautiful thing about fear is that if you ever decide to move past that self-doubt or push through that blocking barrier, you can come out on the other side a whole different person, somebody who's changed, somebody who has accomplished something that they never thought that they could accomplish. They've seen and met people that they never thought that they would see or meet, and they've been places that they never thought that they would ever go. And those are all things that I have had the opportunity to experience. And I don't believe that God gives us these gifts, these abilities, these opportunities to just waste them or take them for granted. And I think that it's important to continuously acknowledge the fact that God has blessed you with this thing, whatever your thing may be. And anytime you don't walk in the light that God has given you, sometimes I won't say he takes it away, because he never does. Anything that is destined for you, it's for you. He's made that promise. But he will always redirect your path back to this place. However, I do believe that it gets a little harder. The further you get away from that goal or God's destiny for you, I do believe it gets a little harder. And a lot of times we tend to give up on ourselves because we feel like we're never going to reach it. So when people ask me, like, how do I keep pushing whenever I meet a failure or a setback, I just kind of have to continue to tell myself, like, what on earth is the other option? What am I supposed to do? I don't want to go back here, so that means I have to continue to move forward and progress with whatever my situation is right now. So my advice to myself was, Brandy, you have to figure this shit out, you know, and that's just me being 100% honest and blatant. Sometimes you have to take time for yourself and you have to figure it out. What is your first promise to yourself? What type of promise is it? What's your end goal? And you have to be honest with yourself. That's somebody you really cannot lie to. I've decided to create a challenge for myself, and I invite anyone to join me if they'd like to. One thing that I noticed throughout the year is I made promises to myself, and I kept those promises because I didn't want to let myself down. So maintaining my integrity was important to me, and I want to incorporate that back into my life. Now that I'm at home and I've kind of gotten my feet planted and I have an everyday program going on, and I can begin to focus on myself now. I've kind of, again, been afraid of sharing my weight with the world. But what I want to do now is kind of expose that. I did it before, so it's kind of like whatever, you know, people are going to say what they want to say, but walk a mile in my shoes, you feel me? I can't live in shame or fear of what other people are going to say or think or blah, 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 because everybody has an opinion and not everybody's opinion is valid. I can take what, you know, advice people have and I can try it out for myself. Nobody can really tell you how to live your life. You kind of have to figure that out for yourself. Be confident in that and move forward. I just want to share the promises that I've made for this week with you guys. I want to promise to prep my food at the beginning of the week. If you prep your food, you already have your week's meals planned out, and if you're ever out, you literally can just grab your meal and go. It's already there for you. Pop it in the microwave. If you already know what it is that you're going to eat, you won't be tempted to stop and eat somewhere else. You know, it just kind of creates a secure, healthy eating regimen for you. And once you start to do this repetitively, it kind of will become a part of your everyday life. You'll know every Sunday I have to prep my food for the week, because once Monday gets here, sometimes we're pulled off in different directions and we really don't know where our next meal is going to come from because we haven't properly planned it. And we don't want to eat all this processed food because that's really going to kill you. So my plan is to, number one, prep my food. Number two, I've decided to write all of my meals down so that I could keep up with them. And I just believe having something tangible to look at will hold you accountable. And it gives you an opportunity to kind of go back and revisit maybe a recipe that you put together that you really enjoyed. You have the opportunity, or a meal rather, that you put together that you really enjoyed, and you have the opportunity to go back and look at that and maybe spice it up or try it again, or, you know, create your favorites. That way you can stick to your new eating regimen. Next, I said that I was going to work out 2 hours a day. Now that might be a little steep for some people who don't have the type of schedule that I have, but if I could promise to work out for 2 hours a day, that will start to rev that engine, get your body, that metabolic system working. So if you're eating the right amount of meals a day to keep your body fueled and you're actually doing something to burn off the calories that you are putting in your body, of course you'll see a drastic change on the scale. Last thing, I'm gonna tell myself something positive every day. A lot of the things that roam around in our heads and plague us mentally are things that, you know, again, we're doubtful. We don't really believe in ourselves all the time, and I think that that's something that's important. So if we continue to give ourselves positive affirmations, I love you, I am amazing, I am great, I'm wonderful, I'm happy, we have to continue to tell ourselves these things, because if we don't, then we start to believe the negative things that reside in our heads. So that is the fourth promise that I wanted to make to myself this week. I believe that I am strong, I am confident, I am loved, I'm loving, and I want to share that with the world. If you would like to kind of share your journey with me for this week's challenge, then email me. You can email me. You can either look in my bio, or you can email brandymallory19@gmail.com.